welcome back to my kitchen. My name's Susie, and today we've got to get busy. I've got about 80 pounds of chicken drumsticks that I'm going to cook up for the students that attend the University of Wyoming. Costco had a great deal on their Kirtland brand drumsticks for 99 cents a pound, so I snatched them up. And because I'm going to cook them the day ahead, I'm going to try a new technique. I guess it's not new. People have been doing this for a long time. I've never done it. I'm going to parboil the chicken, one package of them. Then you cool them down in an ice bath. And then once they are completely cooled, then you can go on to bake them off in your oven. So I'm going to try a full batch today, a full package. And if it turns out, then I'm going to get all the parboiling done today. And then tomorrow morning I'll get up early and I'll bake off batches of these chicken drumsticks and hold them at a safe temperature in my roaster ovens. So come along, let's go. We have a lot of work to do. All right, we've got our water boiling. I'm going to go ahead and get this chicken parboiling. All right, here we go. What this is supposed to do is make it so that when you go to bake off your chicken, it has a good start on the cooking time, and it's supposed to make it so that your chicken is not dry. I'm doing this in a conventional oven. I don't have the luxury of using big commercial kitchen equipment. So I've got to figure out a way to make this work for the home cook. So I was doing some research, and this looked like a really good option because I want to be able to take this chicken hot to the Institute building tomorrow. If I tried to cook it all in the morning, I would have to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just don't want to do that. So we're going to try this today, see if one batch works. I'm going to do the whole process. If it does, then I'm going to parboil all the chicken today and then bake it off tomorrow. Okay, once these have been dried off, I'm going to lightly season them. The finished product will be brushed with teriyaki sauce, but I do want them to have some flavor before then. So this is what's going in. A 1/3 cup brown sugar, some ground ginger, a little bit of paprika, a little bit of onion powder, and some garlic salt. That's it for the dry spices for now. Then I'm going to add in some soy sauce. Okay, we are going to get ready to bake. First we need to prep our pan. I'm going to put down a large sheet of foil. And as the chicken, before you bring it out of there, you want to make sure that the skin is pulled up tight. All right, I've got my oven set at 400. We're going to set this chicken in the middle rack. And I'm going to check it at 30 minutes. I bought this huge, it's a gallon of teriyaki marinade, but it's thin. It doesn't stick to your ribs. So what I'm going to do, I put a little tiny bit of water in the bottom of my pan. We are going to go ahead and thicken this up. So I'm going to cook all of it because we're going to use all of it. Okay, and then we'll pour it back into this container. But what we're going to do is we're going to heat this up. I have a bottle of my clear gel that I use for canning to make pie fillings and things. It's a modified cornstarch, so we're going to use that. And it stays clear, it doesn't cloud up. So as soon as this is hot, we'll add that and I'll show you what it does. About 2/3 cup of cold water and 1/8 of a cup of this clear gel. And I'm gonna mix it. We're gonna start with this amount. If I feel like I want it thicker, then we'll do this process again. As soon as this comes to a boil, we'll add that and I'll show you how quick it thickens up. All right, we have this teriyaki marinade going. I tasted it. It's a little salty because it is a marinade. It's not like a basting sauce. So I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of brown sugar just to sweeten it up a bit. I'm gonna turn this heat down. And here I have the water and the clear gel. So we'll just let this go for a minute and we'll see if we need to add more clear gel, but I think this will be okay. All right, the timer just went off for this chicken. What I want to do is check to see if the internal temperature has gotten up to 165. Not even close. It's at 126. That's at 134. Let's see what the back is. 133. So we're going to leave it in for 10 more minutes and then recheck it. All right, this has been cooking for about 5 minutes and it's thickened up a little bit, but it's not as thick as I want it. So I'm adding another 1/2 cup of water with a 1/3 cup more of clear gel. All right, you can see here that this has now become a nice thick marinade. It's still a little too salty, so I added an orange pineapple juice, left over from when my granddaughter was here, and an apple juice. I added another 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and then I put the apple juice in here and another 1/2 cup of the clear gel. And I just whipped that up, mixed it up, and then slowly added it to this marinade. And it's been simmering here for about 5 minutes, and it's exactly the consistency that I want. These just finished. It took an hour to cook these at 400. See how nice and thick that sauce is? I'm just gonna coat the bottom of this pan. I sprayed it with cooking spray, and then I'm just putting some of this sauce on there. So these drumsticks came to 160, but when we reheat them tomorrow, I'm gonna bring them up to 165. So that will ensure that we don't dry out this chicken, that it'll stay nice and juicy. Here I'm at the building. I am unloading all the prepped goods. I preheated the ovens to 350 and we're just gonna plop them in and get them started to reheat, and we'll bring the temperature up to 165. That way we know we won't dry out that chicken. So I have some heating trays that use those little Bunsen burner things. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of water, butter, and some spices in there. And we're gonna be reheating broccoli in the microwave and some stir-fry vegetables on the stovetop, and then put them into the serving trays to keep hot for the students. You can see I'm adding the chicken that I'm getting out of the oven nice and hot and putting them into the roaster ovens. I pour all that juice on top just to give it all the flavor, sprinkle it with sesame seeds, and this chicken turned out amazing.